Mass industrial scale deportation requires a lot of people working for ICE to just follow orders, but ICE isn't very popular. So how do you get people to sign on? Well, it's actually pretty easy. You just shower them with ungodly amounts of cash, and that's what they're doing. ICE needs new deportation officers, lawyers, and investigators, and they're offering a ton to them to sign up. But the icing on the cake, up to $50,000 in signing bonuses, as well as the potential for lots of overtime for deportation officers and other benefits such as loan repayment or forgiveness options. Now, look, $50,000 is a lot of money. The overtime is gonna be a bunch, especially at a time when they're firing people everywhere across the government because there's just no money. Them loading these people up with cash shows what their priorities are. But just think about how hypocritical that is. They're going to cancel their student loans. There is nothing else in America you can do that qualifies you for this effectively. And when the Democrats tried to cancel people's loans to free them up to start businesses, own homes, all that, the Republicans squealed like stuck pigs. But if you're willing to deport people, then yeah, no, you're the best sort of person. We should definitely cancel your debt. That's what they're doing. So they understand how appealing that is, just to be clear. And here's the thing. You might think, well, wait, how do you do this? That's gonna be a lot of money. No, it is, but they effectively have unlimited money at ICE these days. The big, beautiful, stupid bill, that included about $170 billion for border security and immigration enforcement, spread out over 5 years. ICE is gonna get almost $80 billion. That is nearly 10 times its current annual budget. So at a time of austerity for everyone else, including you and your family, where they're firing people working for the air traffic controllers and food safety, medical research is gone, Department of Education gone, no science anywhere, no arts anywhere, foreign aid is gone, Medicaid is being massively cut. We are going to times 10 ICE's budget, okay? There's no money for you and your family. Food stamps, forget about it. But when it comes to deporting people who have a really scary skin tone, well, then they spare no expense, okay? That is what they're doing. They are gonna give more than a teacher's yearly salary as a sign-on bonus to these people. And you know what? There's a lot of people that probably think that what ICE does is grotesque, but these are difficult economic times. And what would you have to be paid to get you to swallow your values and your morals and sign on to this utterly, explicitly evil endeavor? I think for some people, yeah, $50,000 in your student debt being canceled just might be enough. But aside from just the money, like if you thought that this thing was looking bad, that the mission of this would be bad, the way they're advertising makes very clear who this is supposed to appeal to. Here are some of the posters they're using to get people to sign on. Defend the homeland. And like, okay, I'm sure like part of this they probably did just because Kristi Noem wanted another opportunity to dress up and sit in a vehicle that she has no need to be in the driver's seat of. Like she's not actually driving that or whatever. But also like, I don't wanna pull like an American Eagle, but like you know what you're doing with the defend the homeland, by the way. Also, by the way, get the hell out of here, defend the homeland. Yeah, that high school science teacher, he's a real threat. We need to let him be eaten by an alligator to defend the homeland. Oh, these student protesters, I didn't like hearing what they had to say, and their posters were very mean. We need to deport them, to defend the homeland or whatever. So this is wildly hyperbolic, and also it's got that like mid-century German vibe that is so in vogue with Republicans these days. But there's other issues too. So they need to massively increase ICE's workforce, and that's going to cost tens of billions of dollars that America can't apparently afford, even though it can't afford anything else. And so what happens when you appeal to people with this like quasi-fascistic like iconography and everything, and then you pay them a bunch of money to sign up or whatever? Like, do you know what happens? You end up getting people that aren't actually qualified to do this job. And this is not hypothetical, we've seen this before. And so the Border Patrol back in the early 2000s similarly got a huge influx of money, which just like bear in mind, we were assured that if they got that money, that we wouldn't have any sort of issue with migrants coming into the country or whatever. Appears that was all wasted cash all along, but nobody's talking about that. But they massively upscaled their force. And then employee misconduct rose, People were arrested, people were like thrown out. That's what happens. And this is even more just designed to appeal to racists and xenophobes. Like, sign on, you get to brutalize some migrants or whatever, and we'll give you a bunch of cash. What sort of people do you think are gonna sign on with that as the appeal being made to them? And so I look forward to do that reporting over the next few years as more and more stories of wild abuses of power, physical and sexual assault, and all that stuff become far more common than they already tragically are.